Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Keeping Goals. If you're new here, my name is Conor O'Keefe and Keeping Goals is a vlog following my attempt at becoming a professional goalkeeper at the highest level of international football. Now in today's vlog, I'm going to go through a little bit of a match analysis. I've had a lot of messages throughout Series 3 talking about how I analyse my games, what I do to analyse my games, and hopefully this episode will help. Before I get into it, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss an episode of Keeping Goals and you are along for every episode of this journey. Back in Series 2, I did a full video looking at how I analyse my games. So each game that I play, I make sure that the game is filmed so that I can watch it, I can learn from it, and I can improve my own game. If you want to see how I analyse my games, how I improve after watching game footage and copy the techniques that I use, you can go and watch that video and hopefully that'll help. This video is going to be slightly different. It's going to be focusing on the game that's just happened, Europa Point FC, my club, versus Mons Calpe in the Gibraltar National League. I'm going to analyse a little bit of my performance, but mainly give you an overview of why this result and this game was important for our season. And before we get into that game analysis, a little disclaimer. The footage that I film the games on comes from my own GoPro. When I came to Europa Point, we didn't have a match analysis department. There wasn't the structure in place for filming games and analysing games like I was fortunate enough to have during my time at Loughborough and previous clubs that I've been at. But recognising the importance of filming games and how much it can help players and coaches to learn and to improve, as a club we decided that was something that we needed quite quickly in place. The point being, you don't need to have a full match analysis department in order to help improve your game. You can buy a very cheap little camera, which is what I use, a GoPro. You can ask friends, family, someone within the club to help you by filming the game. On that note, shout out to Jack. Jack is the person that helps me filming the games and his role is vital in all of this. But you don't need all the fancy gadgets, all the staff, all the budget. It's very, very simple and the effect it can have on the team is very big. If you have watched the previous match analysis video that I did in Series 2, you'll know that we will need the match analysis diary. This is the book that I write down everything that I do during the game. Good, bad, things I need to improve, all my stats included in here. So for the past 3 seasons, every game is in this book. So let's turn to Europa Point versus Mons Calpe on the 5th of October 2019 and let's get analysing. So as a little bit of context, our form in the league wasn't great. We had, as you guys know, our first result was a 0-0 draw, clean sheet, good start. After that we went on a run of 3 successive losses, and within those losses we didn't score a single goal. So altogether 4 games in the league, no goals scored, 1 draw, 3 losses, not the best. As a result, we were second bottom in the league, which isn't good at all, especially when we set out our objectives to be in the top 6 by Christmas. We always knew how difficult it was going to be, not only to get into the Champions League and Europa League, which is difficult enough as it is, but to get into that top 6. As a completely new team with completely new players and management, it was always going to be a tough ask. But after those first 4 games, we realised we had a big mountain to climb to try and be in the top 6 by Christmas. Mons Calpe are a good team. They were 6th, I think, at the time when we started the match. So they were around about where we wanted to be. Although we were second bottom in the league, we were only about 4 or 5 points off 6th or 7th. So it's still within reach. As the game started, it was evenly matched. Our idea within the game was to be a bit more free-flowing. We'd been very defensive in the last couple of games, especially against Europa, where we did well but still lost the game. This time we wanted to start to attack a little bit more. My role within that was to obviously play direct where I can, which is how I've been playing, as you saw with that side volley, trying to play up to the strikers, up to the wingers, and bypass midfield. That was the initial plan for me personally as a goalkeeper within the role of the team. Here you see a long throw-in, flicked on by the header and headed back to me by my defence. A lot of long throw-ins in the Gibraltar National League, you'll see that often. I take the ball, try and play a half volley to start a counter-attack, mess it up with a little bit of a slice. Half volleys are something I've been working quite hard on, trying to break quickly. We have very fast attackers, fast wingers, and it's a good option for me to try and release the ball fast for them. And the half volley is the technique that I use to get the most amount of distance. The pitch that we play on is very, very big, so I try and cover that distance with the half volley. I've been finding, as you'll have seen from the match highlights in the last couple of games, that my half volley's been quite good, quite consistent, being very accurate in where I want it to go. This time, unfortunately, sliced off to the right. We did have more chances in this game. We had more possession of the ball than we normally do, and we were making more chances on goal. So that was a big positive for us as a team as we were pushing for our first goal in the league. Here you see a little bit of a speculative cross, which I thought might be dropping in, so just looked after it, touched it over the bar. In those situations, just make sure that it doesn't go in. Even if you give away a corner, make sure it doesn't go in. This was their best chance in the first half. Broke down the left-hand side, beat a couple of men, crossed it inside. Guy manages to get a touch 8 yards out, nearly falls over and strikes towards me. I was nervous at that point. As he crossed the ball into the box, we only had one defender. He was trying to cover 3 attackers, I think. And Saka, our left back, did very, very well to close off one side of the goal. When I see that as a keeper, that he's closing that side, I obviously move into the gap where the striker has a clear shot at goal to block that option. He might be able to bend it around the defender, but if you can use proportions and positioning and angles to make sure that you cover as much of the goal between you as possible with your defence, then you're in a good chance of making sure that they don't score. Gianluigi Buffon talked about it a lot with Chiellini and Bonucci and Barzagli when they had that epic defence between the 4 of them, and they talked about how they used to use each other to try and block off the goal as much as possible. The goal is a big area. You don't have to cover it all yourself if you strategically use your defenders in order to cover as much as possible, and that's what happened in that situation. Here we see long ball over the top. See that sometimes in Gibraltar National League. Crossed it back across the goal. Lad tries to head it on target. Simple enough save. Gathered it second time. Take the ball, assess the options. As you can see, the pitch is very big, and here my idea is to just make sure that we keep the ball. Can either play out to my centre backs, but instead decide to try and find with a side volley out to my left winger. Fortunately, we don't keep hold of the ball. But with that space and that width, there's always the option to try and find your wide players. My side volley probably could have been a bit lower to make sure he could control it with his chest or his feet rather than flicking it on with his head. But that's something I need to work on, making it more accurate and more precise with my side volley. Here again, another long ball into the box, just come sweep up behind the defence, take it nice and easy. Another side volley to start a counter attack, this time more central. I saw my 2 players up front, down the middle. We managed to win a free kick from it. Here we have a little bit of possession in our half. Pass back to me, defender dummies it, and I try and find the centre forward. Won by the centre back. Transition, they have the ball. Shot from distance, and a cursory little dive. Just to make sure they knew I had it covered. And with that, the referee blew for half time. So at half time, it was a very equal game. We'd had chances, they'd had chances, nothing that clear cut. In terms of my personal performance, I was a little bit frustrated with my long distance passes. It wasn't as accurate or as sharp as I normally have them. So I said to myself at half time, all right, 0-0, clean sheet. We've done our job as a defence, but what can you do second half to raise your level? My thoughts were that I needed to be a bit more proactive in terms of in my goal, make sure I'm quicker, sharper, dominating my area, coming for crosses like I normally do, and also to tune up my long distance passing a little bit, make it a little bit more accurate, a little bit more precise, and help us to keep the ball if I am playing direct. So for the second half, we're starting free kick, try and play direct again, over the defence. Often if you can play a longer kick like Edison does, you can start to engage counter-attacks and to drop the opposition defence off, which gives you more space to play. Here they got the ball out wide, high ball out of the area, played through, little touch on, centre forward in, out quickly to smother and to spread. This was the biggest save of the game for me. We've come out second half, we've started quite slowly as a team, and they've started to dominate. Here, the lad gets a breakaway, bounces through, and my job is to be out as quickly as I possibly can, spread fully, and get anything I can on it. Ultimately, it comes off my leg and goes behind for a corner, but the speed to get out to him is what makes the save possible. If I'd have stayed back, he would have had the whole goal to hit with a lot of space and time. So I made the decision in that split moment to go and hit him fast and hit in with a spread save so that I could make sure it didn't go in the goal and do my job to keep that clean sheet intact. Ultimately, that was a big save because it kept it 0-0, kept us in the game, kept our confidence high, and we then kicked on as a team. Here we have a free kick, cross into the box. You can't actually see it, but you'll see our reactions. And the ball is cleared off the line after a save from the keeper. At this point, we thought, we're never going to score a goal. It's just not going in for us. Here, corner kick, played short, back out again, put into the box, came for a cross, ball landed on the tips of my fingers, which is an absolute killer. Probably should have made the punch, seeing as I was challenged by 2 people. Tried to catch it, came off the tip of my finger, which was very, very painful, but we managed to clear it away. Positive in coming for the ball, probably could have made a different decision in terms of punching instead of trying to catch. The key to this save is moving quickly around the goal, setting for the header, moving my feet fast, getting into line again for the second shot. It came past my defender who was on the line, and I managed to watch it all the way and just block it. In those situations, just keep it out the goal. Fortunately, I was able to do that, take the ball, and we can start another counter-attack. Here, the space was to play short, so you just roll into centre midfield and let them take it away. Long ball from the keeper, flick on, striker running in behind, great strike off the bar. I didn't get a touch on it. It was a great strike, unfortunate not to go in, but for us, it just started to show that maybe it was our day. Here they're attacking, play it out wide, cross into the box, guy misses a header, which I thought he was going to make, comes back out to the other side, reset, structure your defence, talk, organise, cross back in, a little bit of a speculative overhead kick, but again, just touch it over and make sure it doesn't go in. Here was the ball through for our centre forward, again, running in on goal, foul right on the edge of the area. I thought it was a penalty. It was just outside. Resulted in a red card for the other team, which was a huge advantage for us. But again, with it being 1 yard away from being a penalty and the following free kick here going over the bar, it just started to feel like we were never ever going to score. Corner in was blocked, back out to Saka, put it in, and Diego was there to head in the goal. Unfortunately, you can't see the goal on the camera, but you can see how happy we are that we've actually scored a goal. I was waiting for the linesman's flag, I was waiting for something to say that it wasn't a goal. But yeah, 1-0 up and a huge sense of relief that we got that goal, but a huge sense of responsibility as a defence to maintain that clean sheet and to win the game. Here, ball flick on, headed home, nice and safe, relax, assess the picture, have a look. I noticed my left winger in space, side volley out to him. He was able to take the ball and play through our striker and create an opportunity going forward. As a keeper starting a counter-attack like this, you need to assess the picture quickly, but the whole picture. You don't want to make a decision and realise that there was a better option elsewhere. I saw the gap, hit the side volley, but I'd made sure that I'd looked at everything first, assessed it quickly before executing the correct decision. This clip, I'm going to keep it paused because it's a free kick. It's difficult to see whether this is the right option or not, but for me, I went with 3 in the wall instead of 4, and I basically said to the free kick taker, beat me from there. I don't think you can beat me from there. I set up my wall so that there's 1 man outside the post and then 2 in. He decided to cross it and it came to nothing. You could have gone with 4. You could also go with 4 and 1 extra out wide to cover the back post. But I was feeling confident, I was feeling on form, so I said I'm going to give myself more chance to see, more option to move, almost betting that he couldn't beat me from there. And he ended up crossing it anyway, but it didn't matter. This next clip, along with the save where I came in as spread in the 1v1, this is probably the second most important element of the game from my perspective. We're 1-0 up, I think this is about the 85th minute, so I know that we're under pressure, they're pushing for an equaliser, we're nervous because we haven't won a game yet, and as a goalkeeper you want to instill confidence in your team. You want to make them feel like you're there to help them, you're there to back them up, and you're there if anything goes wrong. You don't go chasing things, you don't go making decisions that you would never normally make, but you assess what happens and you make the right decision and you execute it properly. Here the corner comes in, and as soon as I realise that it's floaty and high, I know I'm going to come for it. I come through bodies, I take it high, I hold it, I go down, take my time. It takes a lot of bravery to come in the last few minutes of a game. You might be thinking, what if I drop it? What if I make a mistake? Those negative thoughts will usually come true if you have them. At this point, when I saw it floating, the only thing in my mind was, I can come and take this. So that's what I did. If you have that confidence, go and take the ball, take the pressure off your team. No more stress, no more worries. So I'm glad that I was able to do that. Here we have the ball out wide, running down again and again across, come and take the cross. In those last few minutes, you want to keep that confidence. So coming and taking the crosses is always going to help. Again, assess the picture, throw it out into space. As you can see, 4 minutes at a time. And he was able to then, again, start another counter-attack. Once you have the ball, assess the picture, make the right decision quickly, and your team can go and create a chance. That ended up in a 1v1 for us, which we nearly scored. Here they are again, ball through over the top, nothing there. Came and collected it, nice and easy. Throw out wide to my winger again, and this time he was able to set up a proper chance for us. Great pass down the outside to Stefan. Stefan cut in, you can't actually see it on the video, but managed to bend it in, far corner for our second goal. And at this point, it was the 92nd minute or something like that, and everyone just knew that we'd managed to win our first game in the Gibraltar National League. As you can see, we were absolutely buzzing with that. I went to the manager to give him a hug, so did Samir, because it's been a really hard few weeks in terms of results. Everyone's put in so much effort, and to finally get that reward was definitely deserved. But still, wanted to keep that clean sheet. Last moment of the game, ball down the outside, tame cross, come and pick it up. Take your time, relax, assess the options, throw it out wide, and then the ref blew the final whistle. For us, a huge result, not only in terms of getting our first 3 points and moving us up the table, I think we're now up to 8th, but also emotionally, for all the effort that the club, the team, the management have put in over the last few weeks. We've had terrible injuries, we've had things out of our control, but the effort of everyone to come through it and to win that game was a huge sense of relief. So that's it. Our first 3 points of the league moves us up to 8th, as you can see in the table. Hopefully, starts to build that confidence that we can score goals, we can win games, and what we're doing as a club is moving in the right direction. As I said, a lot of effort, a lot of resilience, a lot of teamwork to come through a bad run of form, and I was so proud of the lads, of the management, of the club for getting through that, because it is never easy. When you're down on your luck, a lot of people can give up, and a lot of people do give up, but pushing through, the team got their reward for it. Another clean sheet, 2 clean sheets in 5 games, which is good. Just want to keep up in that and keep helping my team and performing like I did to help us to get 3 points in our next game against Boca. But that's it for this week's episode of Keeping Goals. Something slightly different. I hope you enjoyed seeing me analyse a game. The full game footage, my personal game footage, will be up on the YouTube channel, as it is with every game, so give that a watch if you're interested. Hopefully this video helped you in terms of how you can analyse, how you can improve your own game, and watching video is a huge aspect of what's helped me to raise my level in the last few years. So if you can, try and get a little camera, try and film your games any way you can, watch it, learn from it, and take your game to the next level. Make sure that you subscribe so that you never miss an episode of Keeping Goals. We want you along for the whole journey, so subscribe if you haven't already. Please like, please share, keep the channel growing, keep spreading Keeping Goals to more people. We want to impact as many goalkeepers as we possibly can. So share it, tell your friends, get more people watching, and keep the channel growing. This week's patron of the week is Jude Alliston. So congratulations, Jude. Here is your Keeping Goals shout out. Thank you so much for supporting me and supporting the channel and helping to bring content to everyone that enjoys it. If you want to become a patron, follow the link in the description, see if you can support the channel, and in return receive bonus content and other opportunities like Jude does. But that's it for this week's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope it's brought you some value. We'll see you next Sunday for another episode of Keeping Goals. But have a great week, keep chasing improvement, and I'll speak to you in a bit.